Welcome back, everybody. We have a really fun episode today. This is going to be a blast. Today, we are listening to a story by Tom Tracy. And his story is really special and really unique and really fun. And the artwork is beautiful. So if you're watching on video, definitely gather the kids around the screen so that everybody can see the pictures. If you're listening on audio, go check out the video on my YouTube channel later because you're going to want to see it. Tom, welcome. I'm so glad you're here today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited.
This is going to be a lot of fun. So, for those of you who don't know Tom or have not heard of Tom in the book world, in 2021, the second year of the global pandemic, Tom Tracy, like so many of us, found a new passion, writing children's stories. Inspired by his now 5-year-old daughter's curiosity for the world around her, Tom embarked on his storytelling journey. Tom's books are necessary contributions to the world of children's literature. There are precious few children's books that help kids understand adoption or feature same-sex parents. Increasing the library of available books that feature families like mine, families like everybody's, is important to helping to create a sense of belonging and value. Tom's books honor diversity and affirm that families of all kinds are special, making them must-have books not only for LGBTQ families, but all families. And I have a special policy that we are super LGBTQ friendly. So I'm really excited to have you here with us, Tom. I think this is just going to be so much fun, not just because of the topic matter, but because you're a super fun human being and your story is wonderful. So I'm so glad that you can be here with us today.
I feel like I should jump up and do a little dance for everybody.
Well, you're going to do that in a second when you read.
Okay.
You know what reading is, right? So let's talk about the book. In Schoochie's adoption story, Schoochie takes you on the journey of her and her daddy's adoption experience. She tells of the many distinct processes related to adoption, such as the match process between her birth mom and daddy's, the hospital and post-hospital experience, and the adoption hearing that legalized her adoption. Most importantly, she expresses her respect and positivity for her birth mom and birth family, while exuding immense pride and endless love for her two daddies and soon to be adopted little sister. While the book's theme is Schoochie's adoption, it honors and celebrates families of all types and structures. The story is an uplifting story about the bond of family. That's the bigger reason I'm excited to have Tom with us, because I love children's stories that honor family. So you guys are going to love this story. So, Tom, when you're ready, share your screen, take the microphone, and if you would, please read aloud.
You got it. Well, thank you so much. Well, welcome everyone. And this is the story of Schoochie and Skittles, Schoochie's adoption story. And I'll just start and then we'll jump right in. But I want to say that Schoochie is the nickname for my daughter, for anybody that's wondering. So that's who Schoochie is. So the story starts with a dedication to AM and AH. These are the birth moms of both of our daughters. The dedication reads, "You are an inspiration to all birth mothers. All birth mothers. Thank you for your courage, your strength, your compassion, and mostly for your selflessness that made your daughters our daughters. We are one family." So let's get into the story. Schoochie and Skittles are playing at the park today. Schoochie plays on the monkey bars. Oh, Skittles plays on the monkey bars, and Schoochie goes as high as she can on the swing set. A new friend wants to know where the girls' parents are. "My parents are over there," Schoochie says, pointing to her two dads who are sitting on a bench next to Skittles' parents. "Where's your mom?" the friend asks Schoochie. I have two daddies. I also have a birth mom and a sister, but they don't live with us. I'm adopted, Schoochie declares proudly. Do you want to hear my adoption story? The children gather around to hear Schoochie's story. Before I was born, my birth mom knew she would need another family's help to make sure I had the best life. An adoption agency helped her find my daddies. When she met them, she said they would be perfect for me. She was right. My birth mom invited my daddies to the hospital after I was born. They all took turns caring for me. And when my daddies first saw me, they say it was love at first sight. And when we left the hospital, we had to get special permission before we could go home. So we had to stay in a hotel for 10 days. It was my very first vacation. Once we got home, we had a big party, and I got to meet the rest of my family, including Skittles. A couple of months later, we all had to see a judge. My daddies made a promise to always love and take care of me. That was the day I was adopted. My daddies call it our adoptiversary, and we celebrate it every year. On Adoptiversary Day, we read my adoption book. It tells the story of my adoption and has pictures of my birth mom and sister. One day I'm going to meet them. I want to have a play date with my sister. And do you know what else? Pretty soon, my daddies are going to adopt another baby girl, just like they did with me. When they adopt her, I will be her big sister. Your family is different than mine, a friend says. That's right. Every family is different, Schoochie's daddy replies. No matter how a family comes together or what a family looks like, they are all very special. Schoochie jumps up and squeezes between her daddies in what they call a Schoochie sandwich. Now, let's keep playing, Schoochie says, as she tries to get the others to chase her. Every family has its own unique story, yet they all have one thing in common: their love for each other. Schoochie and Skittles' family has been formed in many ways. Each person brings their own special joy to the family. Schoochie and Skittles know that above all else, it's love that makes a family. And that's our story.
That's so wonderful. I got goosebumps. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're
I have a
welcome.
question.
Of course.
What is your favorite part about writing this story?
Ah, that's a great question. And my answer might seem really simple, but it gives me tremendous joy to be able to share my family's experience with others, especially others that may be unfamiliar with how a family can be formed in this way. And if I can offer this one thing,
Absolutely.
this story is 100% factual based. And it really was inspired by a time when my daughter was on a playground playing and a girl came up to her. And this is God's honest truth. A girl came up to her, was asking about her parents. She saw my husband and I, and this girl came over to me and in a very low voice said, "Is she adopted?" Uh, and I said to her, "She is, and she's proud of it, and you can ask her about it." And she went back to my daughter and asked about the adoption. And truly, this is the way the story unfolded that I heard her tell this new friend.
How fantastic. I think it's fantastic that your children are being raised in a family that honors how families come together through love and through acceptance. So I'm really pleased that you came to read for us today. I know everybody who heard your story today loved it. And I would really love to have you come back. I know you have another book.
I do.
I
Yes.
would love to have you come back another time and read for us again. Would you be
Oh,
willing to do that?
let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome, awesome. Thanks, Tom. I had a great time today. I'm so glad to have met you, and I look forward to more books coming from you in the future.
Yeah. Thank you. The feeling's mutual, and I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.